Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya on our Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across this story. She's actually a black woman, but she is in Greece, right? And she is not having a good experience there. And she is sharing her experience so other people will also learn. For those that are also planning to come there to also learn from her experience, because what she was saying is that I know there are so many black women. I am a black woman, and so many people might probably want to come to this place. This is just so you know. And she shared about her medical rights decision that she experienced, how she and her friends are being harassed, like by locals, right? Especially trying to put their hands on their bodies, right? This is, I think, how some of these people do. I don't know, but it's really something that it's very crazy how they go around doing some certain things, right? And she also talked about her restaurant experience and the rest of it. And one thing I found out about Grace is that you can come in, but sometimes getting out is usually a problem. And now a lot of people are asking her, "Why are you still there? Why are you still there?" And she is trying to explain to them that if you come in, it's easier. It's easy to come in, but living. So I think she's probably going to live like in a year and all that, but she is also trying to create awareness so people know what it's going on. So people, because a lot of people or agents try to lie to African Americans or black people in general just to lure them there, and then going out is problem. Let's get into this.
I'm going to tell you guys the truth, and since 90% of my audience are Americans and about 80% are black Americans, it'd be extremely irresponsible not to be honest about this. As you guys know, I've been having a very shit time in Greece. I really hate living here, and so I called in a couple of my friends to keep me company and cheer me up, and we organized this months ago, so I couldn't really flake on it. So that's the only reason why I'm still in Greece right now, is because I was waiting for them to come, because I don't want to ruin our girls' trip, right? And right now I'm feeling both heartbroken and validated because my friends are having the exact same experience in Greece as I am. Not all of my friends have, because one of my friends is white. Now keep this in mind, this is important. To put it bluntly, the harassment and racism is nonstop. One of my friends, she's very tall, beautiful black woman. She has a lot of tattoos. She's alternative. She attracts a lot of attention. Twice men have come up to her, put their hands on her from behind her, and one of them actually whispered some disgusting things in her ear, and I literally yelled at him in public in front of God and everybody, and he didn't argue with me. He just walked away like a coward. The second time we were in a restaurant and they walked up to her and did the same thing, put their hands on her and tried to startle her and things like that, just completely invading her personal space, and she was like, I did not like that. That was messed up. And he was like, oh, it's okay. I won't do it again. Once, a man who was sitting behind us at the beach club started taking a photo of her ass, and we covered her up with like a little shawl, and he was trying to take photos again, except this time front camera mode, pretending like he was taking videos of himself. Once my white friend called a taxi, so her name and image was on the account, and my friend, who was the tall black model, grabbed the taxi door. He immediately locked the door and then sped off. And everybody who was standing there who saw what happened looked like they saw his face and everything. They knew why he did that. They were looking like, oh shit, like just appalled that he did that. And these kinds of things occasionally happen to me too. But honestly, I wasn't sure if it was racism or not, because I don't really have much to compare it to. Most of the time when I'm out, I'm either out by myself or with my husband, who's a tall white guy, so you don't know if it's like misogyny, racism, or what. For example, me and my husband came to this shop where it was just me and him, nobody else was in it. And the shopkeeper literally practically threw the menu at me. Keep in mind, ignoring my husband, threw the menu at me, told me something in Greek. I understand one thing that she was saying. Like, I speak Greek, but I know the food menu items she was saying. She said, we only have this. And I was like, oh, what's that? She really frustratedly calls in one random guy, and he's like, oh, we only have this, this, and this. The entire time this lady's looking at me like this. And even when I asked for the menu, she was like being super rude, rolling her eyes at me. It was very clear that she just wanted us to go the fuck away. And so she was treating me that way, but my husband with me too, and she didn't treat him that way. So I was thinking, okay, maybe she just is an asshole. Maybe she's having a bad day. Another time I was sitting on a train, and as soon as I sat my ass down, this Greek woman gets up and she sits in a seat that was exactly like the seat that she was sitting in before, except it was next to a white person and not next to me. Now, I can't say for 100% certainty whether it is racism or not, or if it's like a combination of like racism, sexism, what's going on. But what I do know is that in Athens, I don't know about the rest of Greece, but I know that in Athens, the notion of Greek hospitality is completely dead, especially when it comes to foreigners. I know that as a black person in general, I'm not having a good experience as a foreigner here. It's probably because I'm black, but I can't say for sure. But in general, the anti-foreigner sentiment here and in Europe in general is increasing steadily and steadily, so it makes it a very hostile place to live. And even if you're coming just as a tourist, especially in Athens, where they have like the monuments that people want to see and the museums and stuff like that, you're still going to feel it. I visited other cities, Thessaloniki, Nathio, Ioannina. I've been to other places and I felt a little bit of it, but not so intense. People were mostly nice, but specifically here, I've had a god-awful experience. And the two things that tipped me off to this probably being racism is not just what my friend, who is also a Black woman, experienced when she's coming to visit me here, but also the reaction that I got personally when I talked about a sliver of my experience here. I didn't even tell all of it. And I'm not talking about just like trivial things like, oh my gosh, it's too hot, or oh my gosh, someone was mean to me. I'm talking about very, very serious things like me experiencing medical neglect to the point where I have a permanent scar in my eye that's affecting my vision that will never recover because of medical neglect from doctors here in Greece. I'm talking about very expensive accommodation not accommodating me when there are dangerous noise levels next door and I'm literally going borderline psychotic from lack of sleep because I work night shift. I'm talking about people blatantly scamming me and stealing money from me to the tune of thousands of dollars. I'm talking about having my freedom of movement deprived because of government bureaucracy processes. These are very, very serious things. But the local Greek reaction was to mock me for it. And they did not know that I spoke Greek, so I'm seeing these videos on my For You page of people mocking me, calling me a Karen, telling me to get out of their country, saying that I'm just some random rich American because Black female immigrants are clearly walking around living life on easy mode. I was thinking, what is with all of this hostility? You would think that I actually said something bad about the country, but I was like, no, you guys come visit as a tourist, it's fine. Personally, I hate living here, but, please come contribute to the economy, acknowledging the privilege that I have more financial resources than a lot of locals, things like that. None of that mattered. They literally just wanted a target, and as a Black woman and an immigrant, I make a very good one. But this is not just online. When you put in the effort to start researching modern and historical Greek culture, start learning the actual language, like I am conversational in Greek because I want to learn more about Greek language, culture, people, and the most usage that I've had for this language is to understand people saying cruel things about me because I shared a very honest, raw experience. That's heartbreaking. Now, keep in mind, I have some very interesting videos about Greece. I have fun haunted Greek cave story. I have videos of me dancing in the street in Monastiraki Square. I have videos of me telling stories about hanging out with old ladies on the tram and speaking Greek with people. I have all kinds of very cool, uplifting stories about Greece. But if you actually look at the percentage of people who are Greek who are viewing my videos, on all the positive videos, it's only about 2%. On the negative videos, 8% of the viewers are Greek, 8 to 10%. And the reason why Greek hospitality is dead is because life is hard for locals here, and I've explained that multiple times. But I think that even if I were not Black, I'd still be having a pretty bad experience here just because they're less open to foreigners, and it's created a culture of dishonesty, especially in business. So it leads to people getting scammed a lot. Most locals earn the equivalent of about 800 USD a month. There's a lot of corruption, a lot of nepotism, so it's difficult to get a good job, and now they're talking about some BS with a 6-day work week. Life is just not easy. No matter where you're from, your socioeconomic status, whether you're a refugee or not, in general, immigrants make a very good scapegoat for other people's problems, and that's a trend you can see throughout the entirety of Europe. People saying that rich foreigners are pricing us out of our housing, despite the fact that the people who are taking up this housing make up only about 1% of the population, and they're saying that refugees are the ones taking their jobs, despite the tier of jobs that refugees normally take, not really contributing much to the unemployment rate, things like that. And all of these aren't things that just locals have to deal with. These are things that tourists and also immigrants have to deal with. For example, if you have a medical emergency that you don't plan, just like I did, if it's a major operation, it's actually not uncommon to have to give your doctor some money on the side to make sure the operation goes well. This is very common, kind of like bribery. Or you can go to a public hospital, like I had to do, and had a very bad experience, and I had a bad experience at the private hospitals as well. And I just went to another private hospital and had another bad experience because I have an infection right now and I don't want to get into it. But if you are just visiting as a tourist and God forbid something happens to you and you don't know that can be an issue. These things come about because everybody is trying to leave. Greece has the highest rate of depression and stress in the entire EU, and it ranks top 5 as the most stressed place in the world. On average, year after year, is always in the top 5. Because of this, the brain drain in the country is very serious. So this is the truth about what life is like living in Greece from a local perspective, and also from the perspective of an immigrant like myself. It is just not a good place to live. And unfortunately, a lot of people aren't going to tell you that because they're trying to create aspirational content content, and that's fine. I actually consume that content myself. I think that it's got a place, it's feel-good content. And there are also people who are trying to sell you things like trying to convince you to move abroad, selling you travel packages, selling you courses on how to do that, and they're not going to talk about these issues either. I'm literally just here to share my experiences and talk with you guys and hear your experience. So that's my experience. Take it or leave it.
So this is all I got from this video, and watching the video, there are no comments. I mean, except for her other videos that where people went to drop comment, she turned off the comment section because, I mean, some of them are already used to bullying her, especially when she comes out to say some certain things about where she is, because she's currently right now in Greece, right? I think Athens or something. And it's really not a good experience according to her, right? And a lot of people were already telling her, why not leave? Why are you still there? And all that. And I found out that when you go there, because their resident permit, I think it takes time to come out or something like that. So before your resident permit to come out, it has expired on something like that. So it's more like she's stuck and she is kind of waiting till she's able to leave. And according to her, she said she's going to probably leave in a year or something like that and all that. And I really hope that she finds a way out of there, because from the comment sections that I went through, I saw a lot of people saying that I think also a white woman who also had a friend marry someone from there, probably trying to divorce, and it's really been a tough time for the person to divorce, because coming is easier, but living is very difficult, especially for some certain kind of people. And yeah, it is what it is. So I hope people also learn from her experience and also know where they are finding themselves or where they are headed to. And I know that there are some places that it is easy to get into and a little bit hard to get out, right? And she also made mention of, because that is more like harassment. When people see Black women, I really do not know what they think Black women are. I mean, this is something that I have seen them doing, and I have no reason why they do that, but that is really barbaric. Like, I don't know how, and these are the reasons why. If you ask a woman, would you be in the forest or this thing, they would say bear. They have their reasons, right? And these are part of the reasons why they chose that. I mean, you can imagine seeing a Black woman, you don't even know her, and you want to put your hands on her, probably her parts or her body or something for no reason. So why are you doing that? Taking pictures, taking butt pics without even asking for permission. I mean, it's really crazy, but these are really happening. I'm not going to say it's new. It's not new, because I have also experienced mine. I can't remember how many years ago, probably 2 years ago, when I was still vlogging, and I went to a museum, and on my way coming back, I was also supposed to change bus, because I went by bus, and trying to change bus, it was raining, so I came down and got into the what is that called, the bus station, like, they got shade there, so that it would stop raining. And then so I think I was trying to check the videos that I made with my camera and all that, just to find out that somebody was seriously tapping current from me. The kind of hot slap I gave the person. Oh my God. And why giving, I mean, I was dazing front and back. I do not have that kind of patience. I think I was not, I don't know why I started dazing immediately, like front, back, front, back. So there were men also there, and they rushed to me and they were like, what is it? What is that? So, and I was explaining, the man already ran away. So they now had to, like, shed me for that period of time till I got another, was headed home. I told that story. It's not like I am, if I can also pull the video. I told the story on my channel, where I was vlogging back then, and also try to let people know what is going on and all that. But the good part, there was not time to go because he ran away. But the good part was that I was able to, I did not take chances. I gave him some hot, tea before he ran away. So all these are happening. And I really didn't, I have no reason why they do this, because if you are not a moron, because it's only a moron that could do something like, if you are not a moron, why would you be doing things like this to human beings? And then one thing with all these people is when you catch them, they start screaming, have never done something like this because it's more like my fault. Damn you. I mean, people like this should not even be living among human beings, because they are very dangerous to people. But now let me come back to, so what did you hope? And also she made mention about a medical rate athleticism and the rest of it. So I really hope people know where they are going, because there are some places you go to. It's easier, to get treatment. It's easier to accept some certain things, maybe as a citizen. But when you are not, or even if it's, I don't understand, but I'm just trying to let us understand that we already know what we are going through, and we shouldn't also go to where we'll go through a lot, because it has not been easy for people that look like me. So why would I want to go somewhere that I will find it even harder to stay? You know, I would rather stay back at home or stay back where I am. I can only visit for a period of time and run away than staying back there. You know how dangerous it is. And also to restaurant. Now, I keep saying this. There was a video that I saw, I think yesterday, about a black woman and her mom. She went to the restaurant, I mean, on this TikTok to eat. They refused to serve them. They took their order, but they were there, and the next people seated next came. They got their food and were eating their food. They did not get anything, right? And other people that they saw, that came there, they were there before they came, got their food, and they were eating their food. And the mother said, "Let's go." That was how they left. They did not create any sin and all that, but they tried to they pointed it out to them that we've been here for how many hours, and how many, I think an hour, and other people already got their food, and you people are not telling us anything, or just keep saying, I will be back, I will be back, and nothing comes. So we should know where you are invited and when you are. I think that is something most of us should just be very, very much aware of, where you are wanted, where you are not wanted. Because what is the essence of going to give people that do not even want it to be in their midst your money? It doesn't make any sense. So take your money to somewhere else. I hope that this helps, because I thought I should bring it here so you all will know, because I know my people love to travel and the rest of it. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.